Buenos dias, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario from Warriors Pride Boxing Academy in Miami, Florida. Hello, guys. It's a beautiful Monday morning here in Miami, Florida. Again, really happy to be with you guys and talk to you a little bit more about boxing, my favorite sport. I'm very passionate about this sport. I've been actually following the sport since I was a young kid in Puerto Rico. And this past weekend, sorry, this past weekend, we had an exceptional fight, a really good fight, a fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez, the number one pound for pound champion of the world, versus Dimitri Bivol at 175 pounds. He went up in weight. Canelo went up in weight to challenge Bivol for the light heavyweight title. All right, Canelo has been training hard. His body looks like this guy looks like basically a light heavyweight already. His neck is huge. He's a big, strong guy. He does not look like a welterweight or middleweight anymore. He has actually transformed his body. We don't know what kind of training methods he's using in order to achieve, this physical presence that he now has. This physicality, this muscular body, huge neck, and we all know he works hard. He's a very dedicated boxer and dedicated person to his craft, the boxing sweet science. And but one of the things that a lot of people actually are questioning is, is he training the correct way, or is he using anything else to achieve this kind of transformation in his body? Okay, that would be speculation on my part. I know in the past he has tested positive for performance enhancing drugs, and that's water under the bridge until he shows any type of positive test that he's actually using any PEDs or anything like that to achieve the physicality and the physical body that he has right now, muscular body. He looks really impressive. All right, it looks like in great shape. Okay, he went up in weight class again to challenge Dimitri Bivol. He fought one time before at 175, challenging Kovalev, and we all know what happened there. But today we're going to talk about what transpired this past Saturday at in Las Vegas for his fight against Dimitri Bivol. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the fireworks leading to this fight. The entrance of Bivol was very quiet. He has some. I believe he had some rock music there in the background. He walked in. Obviously, this was a pro Canelo crowd. They're booing him. Um, you know, Making fun of him and laughing and all this other stuff. And Bivol, just took it easy, and he was smiling back to the crowd. Just being focused on what lay ahead for him. All right. Um, and that was kind of weird, because I was talking to my wife. We were watching the fight, and I said, why is Bivol walking in first? He's a champion. Isn't he supposed to walk last? But I guess when you're the golden goose, you're the guy that's making all the money for the promoters and for the organizations, and you're the diva of the sport, and you're the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. You're giving all this leeway and all these benefits, and all these exceptions to not only the rule but to decency. The way I see it is as as an act of disrespect towards a champion. When you do something like that to a champion, it's I would put myself in Bivol's shoes. I'm pretty sure he didn't like it. And later on we're gonna talk about what he said after the fight. But I'm pretty sure there's something that wasn't pleasing to him. All right, now Canelo made his entrance. Fireworks. A raised platform was going up and down. The mariachi music, all this other stuff, and the crowd went crazy, man. It was a show. It was one hell of a show. Canelo waved to his crowd, made that entrance, and um, everybody was betting on Canelo. Everybody. I mean, I've spoken to many people at my gym. As you all know, I'm the owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy in Miami, and I asked around this week. I said, "What do you guys think of that fight coming up, Canelo and Bivol?" And everybody was saying like, "Well, oh, Canelo knockout in 6 rounds, in 8 rounds." It was crazy. I said, "You guys really think so?" I'm not sure about that. So anyway, I did post on Facebook. I got a Facebook page. You guys want to follow me there? It's Warriors Pride Boxing Academy Facebook page. And what I posted was this actually, and you can see for yourself. All right, this is what I posted on Facebook 2 days before the fight. All right. Okay, so that's what I posted. Um, that's what I posted on Facebook. Basically, it was don't sleep on Vivo. He's a great technician. He's a great boxer. He's a natural light heavyweight. He's a bigger guy. He looks to me like, although Canelo looked like a physical specimen, he looked like the bigger and stronger guy. He's got all these accolades, the world champion, Olympic champion, undefeated, young, 31 years old. Canelo's the same age. But I actually was picking Bivol to win this fight because of his technical attributes, his boxing skills, and because Canelo has always had issues with boxers, guys that actually use the jab a lot, that can move. He's always had issues with people like that. So yeah, so Canelo made the entrance to the ring. Vivo was there waiting for him, and the fight started. All right. Now we're not going to describe the whole fight, but if you saw the fight, you can see uh, the issues that Canelo had with a taller, craftier, better technician, a guy that used his jab consistently, had was tripling, doubling his jab all the time. When he fought on the back foot, he came back with something. He moved around. Sometimes he boxed inside with a high guard here. And one of the things that I noticed is later on in the rounds, as he started accumulating points, and in my scorecard, he was winning almost every single round. I didn't see it like some other people, and we're gonna get into that. But when he was using the high guard on the inside, Canelo was going and hitting his arms and his body, and he was able to deflect all of those, even the uppercuts. He was able to close his guard and block the uppercuts from Canelo, block the hooks. And one of the things that I saw, and I teach this a lot at my gym, is the counter. The counter, once you get hit with a hook, let's say your left hand is up right here, you get hooked with a rear hook. You get hit on this side, you got hit on this side with the lead hook. So basically what's going to happen is you immediately It's called trigger counter. So you're gonna throw that your lead hook also. You're gonna throw your lead hook and you connect most of the time. So what happened with Canelo and Bivol is when Canelo would throw that hook to the side of the head, and it was the rear hook. When he would throw the rear hook to the side of the head, and he's defending here, Bivol is defending his left side. Bivol would come back immediately and connect Canelo cleanly, and he did this 4 or 5 times during the fight, and maybe more. All right, I would have to watch the fight again. I only saw it once, and it was coming and going. I had issues with my internet here at the house. All right, I haven't seen it again since then. But anyway, he was able to dominate with defense. Bivol, I'm talking about, was able to dominate with defense. Was able to dominate with offense. Was able to dominate with his jab. Was able to dominate on the distance. All the technical aspects was able to dominate. And one of the things that I saw is that Canelo became frustrated. He became frustrated. Actually, I haven't seen Canelo as frustrated as this past Saturday as when he fought Triple G. All right, he fought Triple G twice, and he was totally frustrated. In his first fight, he started running around. All right, he started just moving around. By the way, I think that Canelo lost both of those fights against Triple G. Um, that's just my opinion, guys. You're a Canelo fan. Don't hate me. All right. I just think that he was bested both times. The second time was a little bit closer, but that jab from Triple G made the difference, in my opinion, to edge the second fight. All right. He also had problems with Erislandy Lara, who is a mover, who's a technical boxer. He uses his jab a lot, who's a counter puncher, and was able to frustrate Canelo many times. I think Canelo lost that fight too. And one of the things that you guys know is that you might not be aware of is that Canelo is always getting the benefit of the doubt by the judges. All right. And you guys know why. All right. The reason why Canelo is always getting the benefit from the judges is because he's the money man. He's the golden goose. He's the guy that brings fans to the seats. He's the guy that, that is helping boxing achieve the status that it has. And he's got a great fan base. All right. A huge fan base. Everybody I know a lot of Mexican Americans who actually love Canelo and swear by him and think he's like the greatest thing since sliced bread. But to be honest with you, I have never felt that way about Canelo. It's not that I hate him, like I mentioned before, is that I can see way past what a casual fan or what a fanatic of Canelo would actually interpret in Canelo's technical abilities. He's a good fighter, pretty good fighter, great body puncher, great defense and head movement, waist movement. He can avoid a lot of punches. He has improved a whole lot. But do I think he's number one pound for pound? I really don't think so. Do I think he is the greatest thing since sliced bread? I don't think so. Do I think he's like the greatest Mexican fighter of all time? I said maybe top 50. All right. So that's my perception. All right. So let's continue with the description of the fight. As the fight kept on going, it was basically obvious that Vivo was totally dominating the fight. Totally dominating the fight with his jab. He cornered Canelo several times in the ropes, and he unleashed on him. He was able to connect cleanly. Canelo was not able to connect cleanly on Bivol, and you can watch the post fight interviews, and you'll see his Bivol's face is completely clear. I mean, clean, no scratches, no marks, no bruises, nothing. And Canelo, after the fight, wearing dark shades, and just looked really beat up. All right, and so let's go to the end of the fight. both fighters, the bell rings for the 12th round. Both fighters go and they claim victory. Canelo jumps on the corner and starts raising his hand. Everybody's going crazy, and I'm saying to my wife, well, they're gonna. What happened last week with what happened over a week ago with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano is going to happen again, because Katie Taylor is also the golden goose for the women, the money maker and all that other stuff, the promoter's girl. Eddie Hearn is involved in this fight. The judges are hired by Eddie Hearn. He's got a lot of interest in Canelo, and he's got a lot of things cooking for him. Even Canelo mentioned before the fight that he was thinking, oh my God, yeah, he was thinking going up to the heavyweights and fight Usyk, and a lot of people. Oh yeah, he's going to beat Usyk too, and that's how. That's right there. It shows you how little people know boxing, how little they know the technical aspect of a boxer and their limitations and whatnot. And Canelo's a short guy, man. Canelo's not a Mike Tyson. He doesn't have that over. Oh yeah, he's got power, but he's not. He doesn't have that overwhelming power, and you could see in this fight how Bivol was able to take those punches like nothing. He didn't even move Bivol. He didn't even shake him when he was throwing those hooks to the head and to the body, and Bivol had that high guard. You see, look at Bivol. He's not even moving, so he's not even able to move Bivol. Why? Because it's a light heavyweight. Bivol's probably weighing 190 pounds, guys. And Canelo, that's not his weight class. That's not his weight class. That's not his weight division. He's, in my opinion, he doesn't belong there. He got lucky with Kovalev, who's a over the hill, washed up fighter when he fought Canelo. And actually, he was winning that fight with his jab. Would have been called Kovalev back in the day. It would have been a totally different story. All right, so let's go to the scorecards. And this one I told my wife, I don't know, man. They might screw this guy over. Being the judges are so corrupt nowadays. They're in your face corrupt. They're not even trying to hide it. They're so obvious and so evident of their corruption that is unbelievable, and people are already used to it. Well, the A side won again, and then they give him all the props and all that stuff. So the scores were the following. There was a unanimous decision. When they say unanimous, I say, well, that means that Bivol won, because I saw Canelo winning maybe 2 rounds, the whole fight, maybe 2-3 rounds tops. So the scores were 115 113, 115 113, and 115 111. All judges scoring the fight for still undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world, Dimitri Bivol. All right, so it was expected. What wasn't expected, I mean, if you saw the fight, that's what, you're a knowledgeable fan. You're somebody that knows how to score. That's the way, basically, I didn't have my scoring that close, but that's who I thought won the fight. I mean, it was a clear victory, total dominance by Dimitri Bivol, totally outclassed Canelo, showed all the weaknesses that Canelo has, actually exposed Canelo in a huge way. All right. And that basically shows, that everything is politics nowadays, guys. It's all about money. It's all about, social media likes and, and fame and, and the marketing and the power behind a boxer that makes them supposed to be great. And they were already talking about the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, fighting for the heavyweight champion, all this other stuff. And I never saw it that way. I've never seen Canelo at that level, that elite level. I had never seen him at that, not saying elite, he is elite, at the legendary level. All right, a legendary fighter like Duran, a legendary fighter like Marvin Hagler, a legendary fighter like Tommy Hearns. I never saw him that way because he's been fighting hand-picked opponents. He didn't never want to fight Andrade. He belittles his opponents. Where I mean, these are opponents that could give him a fight. I don't think I'm pretty sure he could beat Charlo. Charlo doesn't convince me. But Benavides, that's another story. So, um, what's next for Canelo? And you might be questioning, having that question also. What is the next thing for Canelo? And there's several options, guys. All right, and I'll tell you what I think. All right, Canelo after the fight, on his post fight interview, said he wants to fight Bivol again. He believes that Bivol won only 4 rounds, and that's another thing why I don't respect Canelo. And you all know that right there. He's like, well, come on, at least admit you lost. Don't give any excuses. You were outclassed completely. Be a man about it. But him, Eddie de Reynoso, just like Eddie Reynoso is delusional, and I guess I don't know what he's seen, but you can't be that way, guys. You got to be honest with yourself and say, oh, you know what? I'm going to regroup and I'll come back. But Canelo's got no shot against Vivo. All right. No shot. 0%. If he fights him 100 times, Bivol beats him 100 times. Why? Because Canelo, not only is he not a light heavyweight, true light heavyweight, but Bivol is totally wrong for him. He'll beat him every single time. Canelo can't change anything. Can't change anything to beat Bivol. So a rematch at 175. What's in it for Bivol? Nothing. Money. That's it. Bivol's interested in unifying his title with whoever wins between Beterbiev and Joe Smith. He's thinking of that fight instead, which would be 100 times better than a Canelo Bivol fight. More attractive to really hardcore fighters, hardcore boxers, coaches, people that actually follow the sport. That would be more interesting. Eddie Hearn says the fight that most people want to see is a rematch. No, it's not. No, these guys, man, they're just trying to sell you that narrative. What's going to happen? Same thing's going to happen, guys. He's going to get beat. He's going to be embarrassed even more. It's going to be shameful. And I'll tell you why they want that, because they want to put other judges in there and they want to take the fight from Bivol. They want to rob Bivol. And that's the only way they're going to win. If it goes to 12 rounds, which most likely would be, because Canelo can take a lot of punishment, that's what's going to happen. They're going to steal the fight from him. Now, that's one of the options, all right? Rematch. And I want to know what you guys think about that. Will there be a rematch at 175? What I would do, and one of the things that they asked Bivol on one of these boxing channels, they said, would you like to have a rematch? He said yes at 168 for all the belts. Now, Bivol is a big guy, but he's not such a big guy that he can't make the 168 pounds. So if he goes down to 168, which would be 7 pounds less, all right, from the 175 division, if he goes down to 168, I would love to see that fight. Now, that's a fight I would love to see. And you know why? Because it's for something. It's a fight about I don't want to call it payback, but it's a fight that means something, and actually has the result of respect. Right? Bivol wants respect. He was disrespected because his national anthem was not played. He came in first, treated like a contender, not like a champion, overlooked. So now he says, okay, well, I'm going to fight you for all the titles. All right. So put everything on the line. Let's go for it. And I'm pretty sure Canelo is not going to go for that. I don't know, but Canelo, if he wants redemption, he wants 168. Now, what would Canelo do? All right. In order to provide that opportunity for Bivol would be to put a rehydration clause in there. All right. And make sure that Bivol doesn't weigh more than 175 pounds the day of the fight, and being weighed hours before the fight. That's what Canelo would do. And I guarantee you that would happen if they would rematch at 168 for all the super middleweight titles on the line. That's what Canelo would actually require. Now, would his coaching team, Reynoso, and all these other guys would actually tell Canelo, "Hey, listen, we need that advantage, the advantage of the rehydration clause." So that's the only way I think he could probably hurt Bivol. That would hurt Bivol is that he would be totally diminished physically. They don't have that energy and the strength to go 12 rounds with a guy like Canelo, that he goes a lot to the body and throws a lot of punches. Now, uh, let's go back to a fight real quick. And I forgot to mention something. Did you see Canelo how wasted he looked? Did you see how tired he looked? You know why, right? He was throwing hard blows all night. Hard blows. First of all, and I tell my fighters, and I tell the guys that I train, listen, you know what really wears you down is when you're stressed, when you're not breathing, and when you're throwing hard punches all night long. You got to learn to relax. Canelo was not relaxed all night. He was frustrated, totally frustrated. He was swinging for the fences, trying to get lucky, and he didn't get lucky once. He didn't hurt Bivol once. He didn't. I mean, not once. The whole fight. I don't know if you guys saw something different, but I didn't see Bivol getting hurt at all. So he looked totally wasted. He looked totally tired. He looked defeated at the end of the fight. His head was down. He was laying on the ropes. He knew he had lost. He says, "Well, hopefully, I'm gonna trust my promoter and trust the fair judging, scoring of the judges." And things didn't turn out this way this time. They sure did, and almost did, because they scored it just a few points, points going his way. If he would have lost, if they would have given the last round to Bivol, most likely the last two rounds, that would have been it. I mean, not to Bivol, but to Canelo, they would have given the fight to Canelo. That's how corrupt these judges are, guys. It's not hate, like I've said before. It's not that I dislike Canelo as a human being. It's just that things like that bother me. Especially when a person is delusional and a person is not being honest with himself and honest with the public, and trying to gain every single advantage that he has in order to continue his legacy, to become a legacy on paper, not a legacy in knowledgeable fans mind. Because to me, the legacy should have a lot of asterisks next to Canelo. Uh, Beating guys like paper champions like Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders, that's not going to get you any legacy. Those guys were not at this level, and you guys know that. The last good fight, the last challenge fight that Canelo has had in a long time was Triple G, and he never wanted to fight him again. Now he's 40 years old. He'll probably fight him again. So that's the third option. I don't think many people want to see that, and maybe Canelo fans want to see that. An elder, diminished Triple G at 40 years old fighting Canelo at a weight class that he's not comfortable in. But those are the three options: rematch at 175, rematch at 168, or fight Triple G. Now, if none of those things happen, the fourth option, I forgot to mention, there's another option. What do you think that is? Is redeem himself. Okay, Canelo has to redeem himself and clear all doubts that he is a great fighter, that he's a legendary fighter, that he actually dominated his weight division and didn't avoid anybody. All right. What would he do? He has to fight Benavides. He has to fight Benavides next in September for all the titles. All right. So, guys, that's my take on the fight this past weekend, Canelo versus Bivol. I called it. I predicted the outcome. A lot of people thought I was crazy, and lately, I've been right about things. I've been right because I what I do is I don't rely on fanatical and outlandish thoughts. What I do rely is on the technical aspects of each boxer, and what are the things that boxers got to do in order to win and to become successful in a fight. All right, and in this case, I saw no way. Well, I'm not gonna say no way, but I didn't see Canelo having much of an opportunity against a superior boxer, a bigger fighter, a normal 175 pounder. This is not Kovalev, guys. All right. So anyway, it was a good fight, one-sided fight all along. Like I said, I gave Canelo maybe 2 or 3 rounds tops. Let's see what happens next. This next weekend we have another fight. I'm gonna be making another video about that, and that I believe is Charlo versus the Argentinian boxer. All right, the Argentinian boxer who actually his name doesn't come to my mind right now. But yeah, and I believe that's going to be a good one, and I'm leaning towards the Argentinian guy, and we're going to discuss that in the next episode, okay? But anyway, from Miami, Florida, this is Coach Mario from Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, and Inside the Ropes, another episode of Inside the Ropes. Guys, whenever you're down here in Miami, come and visit, say hi. It would be a pleasure for me to have you guys come over and share boxing experiences and talk a little bit and get to know my facility here in Miami. But anyway, again from Miami, this is Coach Mario from Warriors Pride Boxing Academy and Inside the Ropes saying goodbye and peace. Saludos.